Hey there, how's it going? Who's up for a quick tackle unboxing? Basically, I have some assorted tackle that rounds out my gear for the spring, so to speak. Some of these are, I have an upgrade to my Ned rigs. I have some replacements for some of the full-size baits that I would use, BFS sort of size topwater stuff. And then there's a whole new product line, a set of jigs that specifically I'm targeting one species, but I think they're going to be great for pretty much year-round. It's another finesse jig style. So let's get into it. This first one, I got a little excited. I started to rip into it when it came in the mail. But what these are is, I haven't looked at them yet. But these are the offset jig head Ned rigs, and they're from X-Fishman. But I tell you what, they were so inexpensive on Amazon. I want to say they were like $13 for 25 jig heads, and this is the 1/15 ounce, or about 2 grams. I think this is 1.8 grams here. In some of my videos, you'll see me using a Ned rig with my Hellgrammite, and I like to just use the standard Ned. I've tried a few different approaches, but you know, it's always a little weird to try to keep that weedless, and so I think these offset jig heads will do a really nice job of that. And so what we've got is, there's 5 of each color, and they look really nice. So with these, I think when I hook up the when I hook up the Hellgrammite, or the leech for that matter, or probably a lot of other things, crawfish, I think these will do really nice, and I like the way the hook's sized too. So you know what, for $13, I think it was hard to pass on these. The regular ones are like, I think I get, is it 3 of them in a pack? 3 or 4 in a pack for $4 or $5. So, you know, these are at least half price. I wanted to give that a try. So that's the X-Fishman offset jig heads. You know me, I like to talk, as the Italians say. I'm a parlatore bene. I think that's how they used to say it. I'm a good talker. So this is, okay, this particular setup, literally the first Monday in May, I'm going to be going after some crappie, however you want to say it. I grew up in West Virginia. They were always called crappie. I try to call them crappie because it sounds a little bit better. But so I learned about this company a couple months ago, and I knew I wanted to get some of their stuff, and so I got a nice little order from them. And what this is this is from, oh, as they all fall on the ground, this is from Mule Fishing, and so I've got a lot of cool little jigs from them, and let's just sort of go through. I got a handful of their jig heads. This is 1/32, 1/64. This one is 1/80. Man, look how small those are. These are tiny. These are going to be great for some of those Nico plastics for trout as well. You know, these are sort of like finesse Neds. I mean, the Ned rig has always been considered a finesse technique, right? But these are really small, so these are going to be great for trout, crappie, panfish. I mean, they'll catch bass too, but that's why I mean, all the jig heads I got are on the smaller size, because these are very specialized, and I wanted to give them a try. But then they also make soft plastic, so this is called their horse fly. This one is in ranch hand, which is sort of like a brown color, which is pretty cool. This is the donkey tail junior, so it's like a little swim bait, and this one is in the green pumpkin black flake. You know, so this is 1.6 inches, I think. This one is, I put on my glasses, 1.3 inches. Right, so these kind of things go towards that, you know, more towards the trout end, but definitely for panfish, but also for really pressured, finicky bass. You know, when they're just looking for that little piece of candy that they can't resist. I think this is going to be really good. This is the Mule Minnow. This is the 2.2 inch. This is the 1.2 inch. Look at that color. This is called cowpoke. From what I understand, this should be a crappie killer. That's just a beautiful color. I mean, look at that. I mean, so it's got little bits of green in it here and there. These look awesome. Here's another donkey tail in just the black. I know I got plenty of black. Here's the donkey tail in 2.3 inches. So 2.3 inch donkey tail. Here's another of the little 1.2 inch mule minnows in Karma, which is basically like a ghost flake. here's another 1/32 ounce pack of jig heads. Here's the horsefly in black. Here's the mule minnow in 2.2 inches in the Karma color. I think he also makes a bigger mule minnow, like a 3-inch, but I felt like I already had plenty in that 3-inch, 3-inch range, so I wanted to get the smaller ones. Here's the donkey tail in 2.8 inches, green pumpkin, black flake. You know, these basically are going to act a lot like a swim bait to me, but they'll also stand up like a Ned rig. And here's the junior in the Dakota Sunrise. It's none of those blue and purple combos that I'm really starting to become really familiar with. Look how I don't know if that shows up. Look how that looks when the light shines through it. I mean, that's just awesome. So I'm sort of running through those. I haven't used these, but it's a little assortment from Mule Fishing. I think they have their own YouTube channel, but the owner also has a channel called, I think it's the Online Outdoorsman. I'll link it down in the bottom. You know, I bought all these, and but I just, he seems like a nice guy. It's the kind of guy you'd like to go fishing with. But this is just a different looking lure, and he's really focused on the finesse side of things, as you can tell by, you know, how small some of the jig heads are that he's making. 1/80th of an ounce. I mean, it's hard to find those. So this will be going on some really lightweight finesse gear, but I'm really looking forward to giving it a try. So that's number 2. And then the third one, this is where I just got some of, you know, sort of the basic topwater stuff. But as I was starting to think about topwater, which should be starting here soon actually, as the water warms up, you know, I was looking through all of my topwater stuff, and I don't have anything that would be comfortable throwing on most of my existing bait finesse gear. So I went out and found what I could. This one I got from, where'd I get this from? Sportsman's Outfitters. There's another local, semi-local fisherman. I think he's in the Columbus, Ohio area. Can't remember his name, but he's got Bass Fishing HQ. Really informative videos, and he's been talking about Sportsman's Outfitters. One of the lures I knew I wanted to get some smaller versions of it, so I looked for it, and they came up at a price that was $2 less than anywhere else. So I said, well, let me see what else they have. And literally every lure that I bought was at least $2 less than I could find anywhere else. And they had free shipping over $50, and I think I'd been sent a coupon code for another $5 off. So it was just a no-brainer to order from them if I was going to order these things. So let's see what we got in here. Not a lot of stuff, but so let's start with these. This is what I was really going after. These are the Whopper plopper, but in the size 60, and they're a 1/4 ounce. I don't know if it's got the gram rating on there. Probably 7. Yeah. So 1/4 ounce, 7 grams, and this is a great bait. I mean, everybody knows about it, but I think in this really small size, which is fairly new, I think this is going to be really nice. So, you know, that's those are the Whopper ploppers. And then this is sort of like a wake bait. This is the Bagley Balsa Wake 1. I haven't used a wake bait, but a lot of the places that I fish, you know, they're pretty shallow. So a lot of the typical crankbaits and stuff that go down even 3 or 4 feet, they don't work well for me. So I wanted to try a couple wake baits. And honestly, these were sort of the things that I added to get to that $50 mark, because I'm like, okay, what else can I get? So we'll give those a try. These are, again, I don't know if it's got the, I want to say these were right around a 1/4 ounce, about 5/16 of an ounce. So these will be up towards that upper end, like 8-9 gram range. And then these other ones are really classic. This is the Rebel Popper. I got the Hula Popper and the Zara Puppy from Hedden. You know, so these are just smaller versions of, you know, really classic topwater baits. I was surprised that the Hula Popper was small, but this one's 3/8 of an ounce. So it's, you know, again, it's at the top range of BFS. At least what most people would say. It's not even. Most people say this isn't even BFS, right? But you know, a few of the rods that I have, and the reels, of course, it'll throw it. So I wanted to get these and give them a try. You know, it's not always possible to find specific stuff for bait finesse, especially if you want stuff that's a little on the traditional gear. But I figured I'd give it a try. I guess in a way that's a lot of stuff, you know, if you're looking over there, but like that's all it was. And I just wanted to share what I'm planning on using. Now, as it goes with a lot of the stuff that I buy tackle wise, you know, it seems like it takes me forever, and sometimes I don't know that I ever throw it. So, you know, like a Zara spook. I'm not sure I've ever caught a fish on a Zara spook, but I'm fishing a lot this year, and so I want to have it in my arsenal. You'll notice there's no frogs in here. Same thing, I don't fish a lot of frogs, and I haven't been around a lot of water where I need a lot of frogs, but I have a few, and so if I have to pull out my regular bait caster, I'll pull that out if I feel like the frog is the only way I'm going to get bit in an area. But anyway, it's just a little bit of the tackle that I'm buying as I'm making this transition into trying to be almost completely bait finesse. I'm still going to have one setup, one traditional bait casting setup for, you know, specific larger applications, big water, and then I'm probably going to have one or two spinning setups, you know, for when I'm doing catfishing and stuff. But honestly, I'm going to do some of that stuff on bait finesse too. I think it'll be a ton of fun. I just don't know how effective it's going to be. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's some of the stuff that you're going to see literally in the next video. Yeah, I'll be giving some of the mule jigs a try, the mule minnows, donkey tails, stuff like that, because we're going to head out to a lake. There should be some crappie still out there, and I'm going to see if I can't get into some. You know, I caught that one a couple weeks ago that was sort of a, oh my gosh, look what I caught. Now I want to see if I can't actually specifically target them and maybe catch a handful in one video. Always fun to get some new baits, some new lures. Appreciate you watching. If you have any questions about the stuff, let me know. I'll try to have all the links down in the bottom. And you know, with that, I appreciate watching. I'll see you on the water.